Dr. Tom, your work centers not just on online delivery, but on how people learn and teach online. So here is a practical yet profound question. What is the hardest mindset shift educators must make to teach effectively in the AI era?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think in many ways we think of many of us think of AI in very different ways. I have a friend who cites some research around what's called boundary objects, and that is a thing that everybody has a name for, but everybody defines a little differently themselves. Like critical thinking would be a boundary object. Um, I might have an idea of what critical thinking is that's very different from yours, but we're both using the same term for it. And I think in some ways AI is that for different people. We all maybe have a slightly different thought of what it is and what it does. And I think at its core, the mindset that we have to keep in mind is that it's a tool. It's a tool to be used by humans in the service of some task or human endeavor. And like any tool, it can be used effectively. Take a screwdriver, you use it to turn a screw. That's what it was designed to do, and it can be really great and effective at that. But if you try to use a screwdriver as a hammer, it's not going to work so well. And a screwdriver can also be used as a weapon, which is really not how it's intended to be used. So a screwdriver can also be used as a weapon, which is not at all how a screwdriver is supposed to be used. And so I think AI can be used ethically or unethically, and I think it's really important to understand that it's a tool, right? And it's just a tool that can be pointed at a lot of different things, both well and effectively, and not well, ineffectively, or in the worst cases, unethically. And so I think institutions need to really understand that. And as we've said in the previous discussions, it's a collaborator. It's don't ask it to do more than it should do, but also take as full advantage of it as you possibly can.
If you had 1 hour with every educator in the world, what would you want them to understand about AI before teaching any tool?
1 hour with every educator in the world. Wow.
Yes.
Um, so about AI, I guess I would, we talked about it in a previous discussion. I think I would remind them that AI is just a predictive engine. It's just something that predicts the next most likely word or image or sound or whatever it might be, but it's not truly originating anything. It can be helpful, but at the end of the day, it's just a machine that in some ways is trying to please you, and it is just a predictive engine. It's an algorithm. And we can't forget that, because when you're interacting with it, it feels in some ways like you're talking to a human being, and it can be disconcerting. And you can forget that, oh, this is not an entity, a mind, a human, because it's such a good simulation of it. But it's just a series of ones and zeros that are predicting what it should say next, that isn't based really on any kind of original thought. And I think it's really important for educators to understand that, because they're the ones who have to teach their students that. And so that their students need to understand and have that sort of digital fluency, that literacy of what this tool really is, what it's good for, because then you can actually use it in useful ways that are ethical and effective and can help you accomplish tasks and activities and benefits. But if you don't understand the limitations of it, then you can get yourself in a lot of trouble.
Yes, thank you very much. As we come to the close of this conversation, we are reminded of something essential. AI may reshape systems, tools, and workflows, but education has always been and will remain a profoundly human act. It lives in curiosity, in mentorship, in the courage to ask better questions, and in the responsibility to guide others through uncertainty. Dr. Tom, thank you very much for sharing your insights, your experience, and your thoughtful leadership with us today. Your reflections have helped us see that AI era is not simply a technological shift, it is an invitation to rethink judgment, values, and what it truly means to educate and to lead.